Hi, is it illegal for restaurants to prevent you from taking home the food that you ordered and paid for? Let's find out. Hi, please do me a favor and smash that like button. It'll help me a lot and it will trigger the YouTube algorithm. Now, if you have not yet, please subscribe to my channel. If you don't, my dog will eat this exam booklet and that student has to repeat his final exam again. Hi, thank you for clicking on the video. I'm Dean Rod Vera and welcome to my channel. Today we'll talk about how restaurants stop you, prevent you, or even restrict you from taking home the food that you paid for. I've been going to certain types of restaurants, ramen restaurants, and every time I sit down on the table or on the counter, they say you're not allowed to take home the food or put it in takeout. I've always found that strange. Of course, as a lawyer, I would say, is it illegal? Definitely, as a diligent lawyer, I had to do research. And of course, I found out that it's not necessarily illegal. It's definitely unethical, but it does break certain rules. I will decline from naming the restaurants. I want you to find out for yourselves. But necessarily, when they tell me that I can't take out the soup I ordered, I found that questionable. Now, the basis I will use is Republic Act 7394 or the Consumer Act of the Philippines. It states in Article 52, subparagraph C, that when a consumer transaction is entered into and the consumer was unable to receive a substantial benefit from the subject of the transaction, the law considers that as a prohibited act. Also, on a more strained view, the law also says in Article 52, subparagraph E, that when the transaction that the seller or supplier induced the consumer to enter into was excessively one-sided in favor of the seller or supplier, then that act again is considered prohibited. Let me explain how I will connect the law to the restriction of the takeout or take-home from Japanese soup restaurants. First, the nature of the transaction. When you go to a restaurant and you order food, you paid for the whole dish. Now, if you didn't finish the dish, of course you want to take it home because you want to finish it or enjoy it back at your house. You should be allowed to do that because, number one, you paid for it, and number two, by not allowing you to do that, then the restaurant denied you the benefit of that food or that service. That means you were denied the substantial benefit of that Japanese soup. For example, I ordered the soup. I only had 1/4 of it or a couple of sips of the sip of the spoon. I had an emergency or I had to go home. I should be allowed to take that soup home and enjoy it there. By saying you can't do that, then if I paid 300, 400, 500 pesos for that soup, then I'm overpaying for something that is only worth 100 pesos or even 50 pesos. Therefore, by giving them the difference, by me paying 500 pesos or just me and then only sipping 20 pesos worth, that is excessively in favor of the restaurant. Let's put this case in point. If I bought something and I only used half of it or 1/4 of it, should I be allowed to pay for the whole thing? Of course, it's hard to relate that to food, but nevertheless, you did pay for the whole dish. You paid for the whole bowl of soup. No matter what the reason is, if you can't finish that soup, you should be allowed to take that home because you paid for it, or let's say you're about to pay for it because you haven't paid the bill yet. Just think about it. If you're not allowed to take it home, then why should you pay for it? Because you didn't consume it. If I only drank half the soup, then I should pay only for half of it. The Consumer Act does not differentiate between food, nails, makeup, rice, or even livestock. You should get what you paid for. That is an essential right of a consumer. If the restaurants say that is the tradition of these Japanese soup restaurants or that's how it's done in Japan, it shouldn't be applied here, and we shouldn't care whether it's tradition or not. What should be followed is the law with regards to consumer and the goods and services that we pay for. If you have a difference in opinion, or maybe there's some other legal point you want to tell me, please include that in the comments and I would welcome them. Thank you for visiting my channel. Thank you for watching this video. If you have a chance, please press that like button down there, the thumbs up. And if you want to help support me, please click that subscribe button right down there on the lower right corner. It helps my channel grow and it encourages me to make more videos like this. This is Dean Rod Vera saying, it's not what you know, it's what they don't know.